If failure feels like a dead end right now, listen closely. What if it's actually the entrance? What if every setback you're facing isn't life pushing you away, but life testing whether you're ready to move forward? Stay with me, because once you understand this, failure will no longer stop you. It will become the reason you finally break through. Failure is not a sign that you don't belong here. It is the proof that you've stepped onto the path that actually leads somewhere. Most people misunderstand failure because they see it as a wall, an ending, a judgment on their worth. But in reality, failure is the entrance fee. It is the cost you must pay to even be considered for growth, transformation, and real success. If you've never failed, it doesn't mean you're exceptional. It usually means you haven't tried anything that truly matters. The moment you decide to chase something meaningful, failure becomes unavoidable. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. Every new level demands skills you don't yet have, strength you haven't yet built, and wisdom you can only gain through experience. Failure is how that experience is delivered. It's uncomfortable, humbling, sometimes painful, but it's also necessary. Just like soreness after a workout is the price of building muscle, failure is the price of building character, competence, and resilience. Think about Elon Musk. Today, he's seen as one of the most ambitious innovators of our time. But before Tesla became a symbol of the future, it was on the brink of collapse. There were moments when Musk was sleeping on factory floors, borrowing money to pay rent, and facing public ridicule as critics predicted his companies would fail. Rockets exploded. Production lines broke down. Deadlines were missed. From the outside, it looked like chaos. From the inside, it was the price of entry into an industry that demanded excellence through trial and error. If Musk had interpreted those failures as signs to quit, SpaceX and Tesla wouldn't exist. Failure wasn't the end of his road, it was the road. What most people don't realize is that success rarely opens its doors to those who haven't been tested. Failure is that test. It asks a simple but brutal question: how serious are you? Not how excited you are when things go well, but how committed you are when things fall apart. Anyone can feel motivated when progress is visible. But when effort produces silence, when setbacks pile up, when doubt creeps in, that's where entry is decided. Many turn back. A few keep walking. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was fired from her job as a television reporter and told she wasn't fit for TV. Imagine hearing that, being rejected for the very thing you believe you're meant to do. For many, that would have been the end of the dream. But for Oprah, it was the beginning of alignment. That failure forced her out of a role that didn't fit her strengths and into one that eventually changed media forever. The rejection hurt, but it redirected her. Failure didn't block her destiny, it refined it. Failure has a way of stripping away illusion. When you succeed too quickly, you might believe it's easy, that you don't need discipline, that effort alone is enough. Failure corrects that belief. It shows you where your preparation is lacking, where your mindset needs work, where your habits are holding you back. It's honest in a way praise never is. And that honesty, if you're willing to listen, is incredibly valuable. Look at anyone who has mastered a skill: athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, professionals. Behind their confidence is a long history of mistakes no one applauded. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots. Serena Williams lost matches she trained her whole life for. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. These moments didn't disqualify them. They qualified them. Each failure paid a price that allowed them to enter a higher level of performance, awareness, and grit. The reason failure feels so personal is because we tie it to identity. We say, "I failed," and quietly translate it into, "I am a failure." But failure is an event, not a definition. It's something that happened, not who you are. When you detach your self-worth from outcomes, you gain freedom. Freedom to try again. Freedom to adjust. Freedom to grow without shame. Winners understand this distinction early. They don't ask, "What does this say about me?" They ask, "What does this teach me?" This is where action becomes critical. Failure only becomes the end of the road if you stop moving. If you pause, reflect, and adjust, it becomes fuel. After every setback, there is a lesson waiting to be extracted. Maybe your strategy was wrong. Maybe your timing was off. Maybe you need to develop patience, discipline, or humility. Whatever it is, the lesson is the real prize. Collect enough of those lessons, and success becomes less mysterious and more inevitable. Think of a relatable example. Someone trying to improve their life through fitness. The first weeks are hard. They miss workouts. They don't see results. They feel discouraged. Many quit and conclude, fitness isn't for me. But the truth is, those early struggles are the entry fee. The body is learning. The mind is adjusting. Consistency is being built. Those who stay understand that failure to be perfect is not failure to progress. Over time, effort compounds. What once felt impossible becomes routine. The same principle applies to every area of life. Failure also builds emotional resilience. When you survive setbacks, you realize you're stronger than you thought. You learn that disappointment won't destroy you, that rejection won't end you, that mistakes can be corrected. This resilience becomes a quiet confidence. You stop fearing failure because you've been there before and you know you can handle it. That confidence is powerful. It allows you to take risks others avoid, to aim higher, to persist longer. The tragedy is not failure itself. The tragedy is quitting because of a misunderstanding of failure. Too many people walk away just before things start to shift. They interpret difficulty as a sign they're not meant for it, instead of recognizing it as a sign they're being shaped by it. Great things rarely come with ease at the beginning. They demand patience, endurance, and humility up front so they can deliver fulfillment later. If you're failing right now, you're not lost. You're enrolled. You've paid the price that many refuse to pay. That alone puts you ahead of those who never tried. The only requirement now is honesty with yourself and commitment to continue. Ask yourself what this moment is asking you to learn. Ask where you need to improve, not whether you should quit. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. One day, you'll look back at this phase and realize it wasn't a detour. It was the doorway. The late nights, the doubts, the mistakes, they were all shaping you into someone capable of handling more responsibility, more opportunity, more success. Without them, you wouldn't be ready. So don't treat failure like a verdict. Treat it like tuition. You're paying for an education that can't be learned from books or videos alone. It's learned by doing, falling, adjusting, and rising again. Stay on the road. Keep walking. Because failure is not the end. It's simply proof that you've begun. So if you're facing failure right now, take a deep breath and remind yourself of this truth. You are not being rejected by life. You are being invited to rise. This moment is not here to break you. It's here to shape you. Every setback you're experiencing is proof that you've stepped into the arena, that you're brave enough to try and strong enough to learn. Don't waste this moment by walking away from it. Decide today that failure will no longer scare you. It will guide you. Take one clear lesson from your last setback and act on it immediately, even if the step feels small. Progress doesn't come from massive leaps. It comes from consistent movement forward. Show up again. Try again. Adjust and continue. That is how momentum is built. One day, when you reach the place you once thought was impossible, you'll understand why you had to walk through this season first. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of you. Stay on the road. Pay the price. And keep moving forward, because everything you want is waiting on the other side of your persistence.